So did the Yankees moves a couple days ago for the infield, moving Torres to second, Gio to short, and DJ to third, tell us anything about what they're thinking, what their plans are for the offseason? Are they going to move a little bit earlier than usual this offseason? And it's telling me, I'm getting the feeling that this winter is going to be a more significant one than I originally thought for the Yankees. They're going to make it a little bit more. They're going to be a little bit more aggressive. I do hope that they're early as well and beat some teams to the punch on moves that we may not thought have happened or would happen. But so because that's also, I think, an important thing, and it's what teams like the Blue Jays are doing now, and other teams are doing. They're striking first and getting the player that they want and keeping them away from other teams, which I think is something the Yankees need to do. So, more naturally, obviously, Torres is a better second baseman than a shortstop. He had a lot of errors at shortstop, so making it a little bit more difficult also for Rizzo and Voit over at first base. And so I think him at second is a good move. Gio to shortstop is obvious with this current situation because he has the best range at that position of any of these guys. And DJ at third. Okay, DJ at third. He'll be solid. He's a solid player. I do think he's a more natural second baseman. So if for some reason they do move Gleyber Torres in a trade this offseason, and to me he's got more value in a trade than a Gio does because of the year that Gio's had. And Gleyber Torres is 24. He's got 3 years of full control left. And he's got a bat. If you put him in the right environment, on the right spot, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine, particularly if he's playing second base and he's healthy. So if they do move Torres, then I could see them moving DJ back to second. But then that still leaves decisions at first base. And we've talked about this a lot recently, right? So what are they going to do? Are they going to keep Voit? Or are they going to move him in a trade for pitching or whatever else? Are they going to go after somebody like a Matt Olson? Or are they going to get a free agent starter? Are they going to keep Voit and let Rizzo walk and invest in pitching, right? They do need to invest in pitching either way, starting and reliever. But we all know this is obvious. Even though they have guys like Steven Ridings, who's got a really big arm and he's had a little bit of injury issues, but and Clay Holmes, which is a gem that they found at the deadline, and a bunch of other guys as well. And I think Chad Green, I said it last night in our live stream, that I think he's gassed because he was used so much, particularly early on, multiple games in a row and such. He's gassed right now. So I think a lot of the relievers are gassed. They look gassed. And that's what happens also in the starters, with the exception of Cole. We're not really giving us any length at all early in the season for almost the first half. It put a lot more workload on the bullpen. So a lot of these guys are tired. I mean, Britton's hurt. I think his Yankee career is over, in my opinion. I want to thank him. Even though he had injuries and wasn't great this year, he had 3 dominant seasons with the Yankees. If you look at his stats, and sub 2, right around 2. So thank you, Zach. If you don't come back, thank you, Zach Britton, for what you did, what you contributed here, because you were great for quite a while. Chapman, I'm hoping that he regains his mojo. But Darren O'Day's out. I mean, he wasn't here. He only had a cup of coffee here, but thank you, Darren O'Day, as well. I mean, these are guys that I think, like Darren O'Day, the Yankees should have got him 6 years ago, not now. But it is what it is. So the Yankees have a lot of young bullet-throwing arms in the bullpen and in the rotation that if they develop them properly and not rush them too quickly, then we'll have some more weapons in the pitching stable. Luis Severino, I've said it a million times, needs to be moved over to the bullpen. He's much more valuable in the bullpen than he is in the rotation. He's not the injury risk he is that he would be in the rotation. Period. And the Yankees have the arms in the rotation, and I think they're going to add arms to the rotation. So I think they'll be fine. And we'll talk about that in more detail. But the whole defensive switch here, what is it? It tells me that the Yankees are going to be more aggressive this offseason. Are they going to go after like a Matt Olson at first base? Are they going to go after, move Torres in a trade, again, move DJ to second, go after one of these stud shortstops? But if they do that, then what does that tell us about Anthony Volpe and Oswald Peraza and Trey Sweeney, these guys that they drafted recently? What does it tell us about them and international prospects? So it gives us a lot more insight, right? And but it opens up so many different possibilities at shortstop and first base this offseason. So, it really, really stirs the brain and really, at least in mine. So now I'm really curious as to what they do. Because if they move Gio in a trade too, he hasn't been great this year. He's got a little bit of value, but not as much as Torres. But what if they move Gio and Torres? You know, I know Odor's here. He doesn't have great stats, but he's plays with a lot of energy. He's got one more year with the team, and someone else is paying his salary. So why the hell are you going to move him? You got Tyler Wade, okay, and you have some other guys, Andrew Velasquez. So we have some young, versatile players who offer a decent amount. But are they going to go after somebody like Chris Bryant? It really gets the brain moving. Are they going to go after what if the off possibility they got Corey Seager and Chris Bryant? Completely different lineup now. Completely different Yankees lineup and infield. Be complete insanity. No, anything's possible. I mean, the Yankees have made it clear they're going to spend this offseason, and they've made the moves, stayed under the threshold, so it's going to happen. But how it's going to happen, we don't know. But I'm really curious. So what do you guys think?